Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Renegade Immortal based on novel. So let's start. Wang Lin's cunning was far beyond normal people's. He only believed 20% of what the man named Shu said. The main reason he chose to enter was due to the trembling coming from the slaughter energy. To be able to affect the slaughter energy, this place will definitely help me master the celestial slaughter art. Wang Lin didn't turn back and disappeared into the depths of the prison. Some things in this world requires us to make a choice. Some things will be lost, but this is something I must do. Wang Lin followed down the stairs, and after one instant of time, the blood-colored light before him intensified. At the bottom of the stairs, it was a scarlet world. This place was very large, and the thick layer of blood marks on the ground was very shocking. When he looked around, he couldn't see the boundaries of this place. This was probably an independent space, and it was right below Sky Demon City. In this world, there were many pools of blood on the ground. There were many people in each of the pools of blood, and their eyes were closed as they cultivated inside the blood pools. The hideous injuries on their bodies moved in a strange manner. When Wang Lin entered this place, the 5 strands of slaughter energy flew out. They circled around him and seemed to be releasing bursts of excitement. Wang Lin took a deep breath and the bloody smell entered his mouth, causing killing intent to fill his body. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as he moved and arrived next to a pool of blood. He hesitated a bit before sitting down in the lotus position inside the pool of blood. At the moment half of his body was immersed in the blood pool. Powerful killing intent entered his body from the blood pool and spread across his body. Every time he breathed, the killing intent inside his body intensified. Every time he cultivated, more killing intent entered his body from the blood pool. Gradually, Wang Lin's eyes became red, and the 5 strands of slaughter energy whistled like they never had before. The killing intent in his heart became stronger and stronger. At first he used celestial spiritual energy to resist it, but after pondering a bit, he gave up on doing that. After sealing his mind, he allowed the killing intent free reign over his body. After an unknown amount of time, everyone inside the blood pools opened their eyes, an unimaginable killing intent burst out from their eyes. The explosion of killing intent immediately surrounded the entire scarlet world. People charged out into the air from the blood pools, and murderous roars and shouts filled the area. All of those people had bloodshot eyes. Kill! 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 Following the roars, each of the people that flew out immediately began to attack the person near them. Their attacks were filled with killing intent. There were a lot of people in the blood pools. Wang Lin spread out his divine sense and found almost 1,000 people. At this moment, much slaughter took place, and the killing intent here was monstrous. Wang Lin's eyes were bloodshot. At this moment, he had already locked his mind. His entire body was no longer in his control and was shrouded in killing intent. He suddenly flew out from the blood pool and let out a thunderous roar. He charged toward the people, killing each other like a bloody tornado. A path of slaughter had begun. Wang Lin had lost his consciousness and was completely immersed in killing. Every attack was set to kill, finger of death, demonic finger, and various treasures were all constantly used. Everywhere he passed, people would die to him. Wang Lin's eyes were completely blood red. Right now the only thing on his mind was to kill. Here, if he didn't kill others, he would be killed by others. This place was a battlefield of slaughter. Wang Lin's entire body was stained by blood. He seemed to be tireless as he charged at every enemy he saw. He didn't even hesitate to use spells that would mean mutual destruction. Everyone that was killed didn't really die, they were affected by the formation here and resurrected in the blood pools. The people here could no longer be considered people, they were more like tools for providing slaughter energy. The slaughter energy created by their killing would be absorbed by the sky and disappear without a trace. This slaughter lasted for a long time before it finally ended. These people all had monstrous killing auras, and their eyes were completely bloodshot. There was no longer any reason left in these people. There was a bit over 100 people remaining, including Wang Lin. The slaughter silently ended. These people all had an intense killing aura around them, which manifested as a 3-foot-wide blood mist. They didn't even look at each other as they scattered and each looked for a blood pool. The people that just revived would all immediately disperse, allowing those people to have a blood pool all to themselves. Wang Lin's eyes were blood red as he brought his 3-foot-wide blood mist toward a blood pool. The more than a dozen people inside the pool all got up and quickly left. There was a hint of admiration inside their bloodshot eyes. Wang Lin sat by himself inside the blood pool and closed his eyes. After a long time, he opened his eyes once more. The blood red in his eyes gradually disappeared and was replaced by clarity. I believe that the killing heart mentioned by the man named Shu is the heart of slaughter. Only by having a heart of slaughter can I successfully refine slaughter energy. If I don't have a heart of slaughter, it will be very difficult to refine slaughter energy. Those successes from before could only be considered coincidence. Wang Lin took a deep breath and closed his eyes once more to immerse himself in the blood and began comprehending the heart of slaughter. After a long time, the slaughter started once more in this scarlet world. Everyone flew into the air and the slaughter began once more. This kind of slaughter would happen several times each day. During these slaughters, many people would die, and a few people would have the blood mist around them become stronger and stronger. One day of time quickly passed, and there had been a total of 4 slaughters on this day. Wang Lin lasted until the very end, but the blood mist around him was only several dozen feet wide. Compared to others, it was a lot, but there was one man with black hair who had a blood mist more than 100 feet wide. He floated in the air like a king. After the final slaughter ended, the king-like young man suddenly raised his head and let out a roar. The blood mist around his body suddenly began to churn. Just at this moment, a ray of lightning suddenly flew across the sky. A silver dragon suddenly appeared. It looked coldly at everything below it and then suddenly sucked really hard. This caused the blood mist around everyone to leave their bodies, and it was sucked in by the silver dragon. The king-like young man let out a roar and charged directly at the silver dragon. However, when he only flew up 1,000 feet, the silver dragon turned around. With one gaze from the dragon, the young man's body collapsed. The young man's blood mist was sucked away by the silver dragon, then the silver dragon disappeared. At the moment the silver dragon disappeared, Wang Lin's eyes revealed a sense of clarity. He understood that the silver dragon was probably the demon emperor's sword that the man named Shu talked about. The slaughter energy produced here was probably food for this demon sword. As for the black-haired youth, although he died, he was resurrected in a blood pool. All of the blood mist around him had disappeared, and he would have to climb back up again. After one day of slaughter, this place became quiet. Wang Lin sat in the pool of blood and comprehended the heart of slaughter. Back when I learned the celestial slaughter art, that person said that because I cultivate the life and death aura, I can cultivate this spell. I finally understand now. Strands of killing intent entered Wang Lin's body from the blood pool. However, there are still some vague details. The relationship between the celestial slaughter art and life and death domain, Wang Lin pondered. One night passed, and on the second day, the slaughter began once more. Wang Lin was completely immersed in the slaughter here. He had no idea how much time had passed as the killing intent around him became stronger and stronger. The endless slaughter and endless absorbing of killing intent allowed Wang Lin's body to slowly comprehend the heart of slaughter. When Wang Lin first got here, there would be over 100 people left after each slaughter, but now Wang Lin could easily kill a person with just one finger. His bloodshot gaze swept the area, and there were less than 50 people remaining. The 50 people didn't continue to kill each other but separated and found their own blood pools to cultivate in. After a day of slaughter, the blood mist around Wang Lin had become 50 feet wide. An unknown amount of time passed once more. Another slaughter began. After it ended this time, Wang Lin let out a roar. There were less than 20 people in the sky. The blood mist around Wang Lin was now 70 feet wide, and everyone else's blood mist was also several dozen feet wide. Days passed in this scarlet world. Even though Wang Lin would regain his clarity every now and then, even he didn't know how much time had passed. If it wasn't for the fact that the 5 strands of slaughter energy had changed into life force seals that covered his body, Wang Lin believed he would have already died here many times. With the life force seal around his whole body, Wang Lin was like a powerful tiger that began to separate himself from the rest. On this day, when the last slaughter of the day ended, there were only 2 people left in the sky. One of the 2 people was Wang Lin. The blood mist around his body was now several hundred feet wide. From a distance, he looked like a bloody sun. Before him was the black-haired young man from before. He had once more climbed up to the top, and the blood mist around him wasn't any weaker than Wang Lin's and in fact was stronger. At this moment, the silver light appeared once more. Its cold gaze fell on Wang Lin and the youth before it sucked. The black-haired youth let out a roar once more as he charged toward the silver dragon. The silver dragon revealed a rare hint of disdain as its giant claws pressed down. At this moment, it felt as if the sky was collapsing. Explosion sounds came from inside the youth as his body shattered into pieces. But right before he died, some of the blood mist entered his body, then his body shattered into pieces. At the same time, the black-haired youth was resurrected inside one of the blood pools. All of the blood mist around him was gone as he silently cultivated in the blood pool and didn't even look at the sky. At this moment, the silver dragon placed its gaze on Wang Lin. Wang Lin didn't hesitate to release the blood mist for the silver dragon to absorb. The silver dragon disappeared and Wang Lin landed. As he looked at where the silver dragon disappeared, his eyes regained their clarity. He slowly walked up to a blood pool, and the several people inside the blood pool quickly got up and left. Wang Lin sat by himself inside the blood pool and his eyes retained their clarity. A smile gradually appeared on his face. The smile became larger and larger until he finally burst out in laughter. His laughter echoed in this scarlet world, but no one paid any attention to him, as they were all focused on absorbing killing intent. Celestial slaughter art, to slaughter a life to create a life seal. This is creating life with death, which is in line with reincarnation. A cycle where death creates life seals. This spell was, in fact, just the life and death of reincarnation. The transformation between life and death. That silver dragon was doing the same thing, absorbing all this death to turn it into vitality. The formation here also had the same principle, so it turned out to be like this. Wang Lin's eyes were bright. He had gained enlightenment. At the moment he gained enlightenment, the 5 strands of slaughter energy that were currently acting as life seals around his body quickly appeared before him. They gathered together before his chest to form a giant, grey vortex. This vortex spun rapidly before his chest before disappearing inside his body. At this moment, his entire person changed, and a never-before-seen killing aura suddenly appeared in this scarlet world. At this moment, every person in this scarlet world opened their eyes and looked at Wang Lin. Slaughter aura. Wang Lin's voice echoed in his scarlet world. As his celestial slaughter art spread out, sounds of explosions came from the blood pools near Wang Lin. The people that had been killed and resurrected an unknown number of times all exploded, and strands of slaughter energy were formed. In almost an instant, almost 100 strands of slaughter energy were formed. They circled around Wang Lin like grey ghosts. This didn't end. With Wang Lin as the center, all of the people inside the blood pools exploded and turned into grey gas. The entire scarlet world began to collapse. A large amount of grey gas condensed into slaughter energy and circled around Wang Lin. None of the people that collapsed resurrected. This time they died for real. At the moment their bodies collapsed, their eyes revealed clarity for the first time in countless years, and inside that clarity there was a hint of relief. The sounds of explosions and the sight of the grey gas filled the scarlet world. The black-haired youth in the blood pool in the distance suddenly raised his head. His eyes were completely bloodshot, and a thin layer of blood mist appeared around his body. He let out a growl as he clenched his teeth and became the only person who didn't collapse to the celestial slaughter art. 3,792 strands of grey gas circled around Wang Lin's body. He stood up inside the blood pool, and at this moment, there was only him and the black-haired man remaining in this scarlet world. A ray of lightning suddenly appeared in the sky, turning into the silver dragon. The silver dragon that just left had returned, and its large eyes stared at Wang Lin with killing intent. This silver dragon stared at Wang Lin before letting out an angry roar. Then its body began to move, and its large claw descended on Wang Lin. When the claw fell from the sky, it was like the heavens itself was falling, and a powerful aura immediately filled the area. Wang Lin raised his head to look at the sky. He had experienced the power of the silver dragon a lot during these past several days. Wang Lin didn't move, but the 3,792 strands of slaughter energy released a powerful killing intent. As this killing intent spread, an aura that could pierce the sky and this world appeared. More than 3,000 slivers of slaughter energy released monstrous killing intent that charged at the silver dragon's claw like a sharp sword. With a bang, the entire scarlet world shook. The silver dragon's claw collapsed under the force of the 3,792 strands of slaughter energy. The silver dragon let out a fierce roar, and its dragon eyes revealed a never-before-seen killing intent. Although it had been injured before in the countless years it has been alive, this was the first time an ant had injured it. Even though the claw wasn't its full power, it was not something mere food could resist. Even demon generals couldn't resist this claw. At this moment, it was really angry. As the sword of the demon emperor, it had absolute dignity, so when it was challenged by mere food, it decided to directly obliterate that food. The silver dragon's body moved, and as it roared, a ray of sword energy appeared in its mouth. The moment the sword energy appeared, the scarlet world seemed like it was about to collapse, and the only thing left was this ray of sword energy. The sword energy shot out directly at Wang Lin. Wang Lin didn't hesitate at all as his body moved like lightning, but he didn't charge at the silver dragon. Instead, he turned around and charged toward the entrance. The 3,792 strands of slaughter energy caught up to him and turned into life seals one after another. In the blink of an eye, the 3,792 life force seals imprinted onto Wang Lin's forehead and immediately spread over his body. With more than 3,000 life seals around his body, it was like Wang Lin had gained more than 3,000 layers of extra protection. At this moment, the sword energy from the silver dragon landed on Wang Lin. The life seal around Wang Lin began to flash like crazy, and there was a series of crackling sounds. Wang Lin's body didn't stop at all as he disappeared through the entrance. At the moment it disappeared, the black-haired man inside the Scarlet World struggled to say, "Save me just once." His voice was very soft. The silver dragon was startled, as its Shokil sword energy was forcibly stopped by Wang Lin. For it, this was an extreme insult. The silver dragon's anger rose to a new height. It didn't even bother with the black-haired man as its body moved and disappeared without a trace. At the same time, the sword pavilion in the Imperial Palace was completely empty. There were no decorations here, only a huge blood formation with a serpentine, silver sword inserted at the center. At this moment, the serpentine sword suddenly released bursts of sword hymns. Shortly after, the sword flew directly into the sky and pierced through the roof in a ray of silver light. It carried a sword energy that everyone inside Sky Demon City could feel, and it circled once in the sky before charging directly at Hong City. At this moment, all of the commander-in-chiefs and demon generals noticed this sword energy. They all walked outside and looked into the night sky. Inside the Imperial Mansion, a middle-aged man in a white robe looked at the night sky. His eyes lit up and he muttered, "Who provoked the Emperor's sword to leave the formation?" Demon General Xiao was also in his own manner as he looked up at the sky. Sun Dao's expression was serious as he looked at the silver light in the sky, and he was extremely shocked. The Emperor's sword flew out on its own. There is something strange about this. Xiao took a deep breath and his eyes revealed a mysterious light. In Universe City, a black-haired man looked up at the sky from inside his courtyard. He only revealed a figure and didn't show his face as he looked at the silver flash in the sky. He whispered, "This is the wrath of the Emperor's sword." "How is the Emperor's sword in the eyes of the two of you?" There were two people behind this person, and they were both carrying large swords behind their backs. Their eyes revealed a mysterious light as they stared at the silver light disappearing into the distance. One of them pondered a bit and slowly said, "It isn't any weaker than Master's sword." "Is that so?" The black-haired man turned around, revealing a very handsome face, and there was also a hint of resolve in that handsome face. He was the #1 demon general, the one who was stationed next to the fire demon country, Mo Fei. However, if one looked closely, this person looks exactly the same as the black-haired youth in Hong Prison. Inside the Mo mansion, Mo Lehai's face was filled with shock as he looked at the silver light in the sky. He could clearly see that it was heading toward Hong Prison, making his heart skip a beat, and he had a bad premonition. The Emperor's sword. It couldn't be going for Wang Lin. Then Mo Lehai shook his head and said to himself, how could Wang Lin cause the Emperor's sword to move with his cultivation? I'm overthinking it. Although he said that, the bad premonition in his heart became stronger and stronger. Inside the royal palace, a person wearing a royal robe looked into the sky and smiled. Could it be that it suffered some injustice? I haven't seen it so angry in a long time. Interesting. Behind the person in the royal robe, an enchanting woman softly said, Emperor, what are you so happy about? Wang Lin's body moved like lightning up the stairs in Hong Prison. He moved very quickly, and as he ran, the blood in his body boiled. Although the force of that sword energy was deflected by the life seals around his body, it still caused the blood in his body to go crazy. When he went down the stairs, he wasn't fast, but now he passed by in a flash. Soon, he arrived at the top of the stairs. The man named Shu was standing there and looking at the sky. He had a strange expression and muttered to himself, this matter has gotten a bit out of control. Wang Lin appeared in a flash. The moment he appeared, the man named Shu jerked around to look at Wang Lin. After letting out a sigh, he quickly whispered, you can't leave from here, follow me. With that, he leaped to the side and quickly flew down another path. Wang Lin's eyes narrowed, but soon he felt the unimaginable sword energy flying over at lightning speed. He was very familiar with that sword energy, it was the silver dragon. Feeling his scalp go numb, Wang Lin quickly followed the man named Shu. He quickly hid his presence without revealing a hint of himself. The two of them moved extremely fast and disappeared after navigating through Hong Prison. Shortly after the two of them left, the Emperor's sword arrived and directly broke through the gate. It swept through the prison, looking for the food that made it lose its dignity. At this moment, on the wall of a residence in Hong City, an opening silently appeared. Wang Lin walked out from the gap. The man named Shu didn't come out but let out a sigh and quickly said, don't forget our agreement. With that, the wall closed, and the man named Shu quickly left. As he ran, he muttered to himself, that was not worth it. If I knew he was going to lure the Emperor's sword here, then no matter what, I wouldn't have sent him there. Wang Lin had his presence completely hidden. He didn't use celestial spiritual energy to fly but walked rapidly on the street. He could hear sounds of destruction from Hong Prison in the distance along with angry sword hymns. Wang Lin moved even faster. This place wasn't far from the Mo mansion. After half an incense stick of time, he arrived at the Mo mansion. Mo Lehai stood in the courtyard while staring at Hong Prison, and he had a feeling of disaster in his heart. At this moment, he immediately saw Wang Lin, and when he noticed how Wang Lin had his presence hidden, he immediately knew what was going on due to how smart he was. He let out a bitter smile as he led Wang Lin to the fake mountain, and with one palm, he created a hole. This is where I cultivate behind closed doors. You should hide here for a bit. Wang Lin's divine sense spread out before he jumped in without a word. Mo Lehai took a deep breath as he sat down and closed the hole. He began cultivating there like nothing was wrong. This was destined to be a sleepless night for Mo Lehai, and this was the same for the residents of Sky Demon City. The entire Sky Demon City was lit up by silver light throughout the night. After the Emperor's sword wasn't able to find the food that injured it, it became even more angry. It decided to wreck Hong Prison before it circled the sky of Sky Demon City as it frantically searched. This made Mo Lehai's job harder. He kept using his demonic spiritual energy cover up Wang Lin's presence so the Emperor's sword couldn't find Wang Lin. The Emperor's sword did notice Mo Lehai, but Mo Lehai had spread out his demonic spiritual energy too much, so the Emperor's sword just swept by. In truth, even if the Emperor's sword looked closely, it still wouldn't be able to find Wang Lin. Wang Lin had completely hidden his aura and entered the heaven-defying bead. He was sitting across from Li Muwen's nascent soul. Throughout the night, the Emperor's sword became even more angry. It spent the entire night searching all of Sky Demon City, but it still couldn't find a trace of that despicable food. Its anger continued to grow. This was another insult to it. Early in the morning, the Emperor's sword was filled with unwillingness as it let out a sword hymn. It then turned toward Hong Prison and sent out a ray of sword energy that created a rift more than 1,000 feet long. After releasing its anger, the Emperor's sword returned to the formation full of anger. Hong Prison was one of the 4 great prisons of Sky Demon City. Although it was damaged by the Emperor's sword, with lot of manpower and materials, it was quickly repaired. However, the Emperor's sword seemed to have its sight on Hong Prison, so whenever it was fixed, the Emperor's sword would appear and destroy it to vent its anger. Another bang came from Hong Prison. As the dust and dirt were kicked into the air, the silver sword proudly let out a sword hymn and flew off into the distance. Wang Lin looked at the direction of the Emperor's sword as it flew away, and he faintly smiled. Why is this sword acting like a child? It can't find me, so now it has a grudge with Hong Prison. How many times has it been? 10 times. Mo Lehai sat opposite of Wang Lin. He could only bitterly smile, but at the same time he also admired Wang Lin. If it wasn't for the fact that he was looking at Wang Lin, he wouldn't have been able to find Wang Lin at all. This was proven true by the fact that the Emperor's sword had passed by many times and still wasn't able to find Wang Lin. Thinking about how he didn't even notice Wang Lin leaving the hole a few days ago, his evaluation of Wang Lin increased a lot. In addition to all of this, after Wang Lin came back from Hong Prison, Mo Lehai felt like Wang Lin was like a different person. This was especially true whenever he looked at the flashing symbol on Wang Lin's forehead. This symbol could make his heart jump. He didn't ask for details, but he guessed that for Wang Lin to anger the Emperor's sword, Wang Lin had to have either succeed in his spell or had a fortunate encounter. What is your current strength? How is your strength compared to back when you were in Ancient Demon City? After pondering for a long time, Mo Lehai decided to ask. He wanted to know what position he could get in the Demon General competition. There are 2 chances during the Demon General competition. If the Demon General loses, then their helper can fight instead. However, there is a requirement for the helper too. That person can't be a native and has to be a foreigner. This is why the Demon General chose Wang Lin. Wang Lin's voice was calm as he slowly said, even without that palm, I can still win against you. Mo Lehai stared at Wang Lin. After a long time, he laughed and said, good. With those words, it looks like my effort wasn't wasted. Brother Wang, the Demon Emperor will personally be at the Demon General competition in half a month. If you do well and I nominate you, you will for sure get the position of Demon General. Wang Lin smiled but didn't speak. Mo Lehai pondered a bit and then said, in a serious tone, Brother Wang, you need to return early today. Tonight, I'll take you to meet someone important. Wang Lin nodded, then he stood up and said, Brother Mo can rest assured. The 2 of them looked at each other and both laughed. Mo Lehai felt very happy and smiled. Then this older brother won't disturb you. You go listen to the zither music. Wang Lin listening to the zither music by the river was not some secret, so Mo Lehai naturally knew. Wang Lin walked out of the Mo mansion. Wang Lin silently sat on the side of the river with a jar of wine that he would occasionally drink from. He looked very calm, and his heart was at peace. During this period of time, Wang Lin would sit here every day, waiting for the boat to pass so he could hear the zither music. However, the music had changed greatly from before. It was now a happy song that hid the sorrow deep within. But Wang Lin didn't try to change it by force. He was just a passerby and viewed the various emotions with the mentality of a passerby. Even until now, he didn't know what the woman looked like. None of this was important. What was important was that he was listening, earnestly listening. When listening to the zither music that touched the sealed memories in his heart, he had a feeling he hadn't felt in a long time. Wang Lin's heart was extremely calm right now. The zither music arrived before the boats appeared. This seemingly cheerful zither music revealed sadness and helplessness. Following the zither music, the boats slowly arrived. The zither player at the head of the boat still had her back toward Wang Lin. Her jade-like hand moved, creating the zither music that slowly diffused into the air. Today there was only one person sitting before her. This was a young man about 27 or 28 years old. He was wearing a green robe, and although he looked ordinary, he gave off a very clean feeling. There wasn't any demonic spiritual energy about him as he sat there drinking fine wine and listening to the zither music. The young man placed down the cup and softly asked, "Can you not play like this? I want to hear your music." The woman stopped playing. After pondering for a long time, she nodded, and her jade hands began to play once more. The sadness from the music gradually echoed through the area as if the music itself had fused with the ripples created by the boat and spread to the sides of the river. The ripples stopped just before reaching Wang Lin, but the music didn't stop and entered Wang Lin's ears. The youth on the boat slowly closed his eyes and carefully savored the sadness and pain in the zither music. Wang Lin also closed his eyes and became immersed in the zither music. It was as if the music had fused into his mind and wouldn't disappear for a while. The two of them, one of them on the boat and one of them on the shore. Although both were comprehending different things, there was now a connection. Wang Lin opened his eyes and looked toward the boat for the first time. His gaze fell on the woman and then moved to the young man. At this moment, this person also opened his eyes and looked at Wang Lin. The two of them looked at each other for a while before Wang Lin raised his jar as a gesture and took a big gulp. The youth on the boat revealed a smile as he raised his cup and drank it all in one gulp. The boat gradually went off into the distance and disappeared from Wang Lin's view. Only the faint zither music would still float in from the distance. The woman on the boat playing the zither turned around toward the shore in the distance. In her eyes, everything was still dark. The youth put down the wine cup and softly said, "There is a person there." Ming Xian didn't speak. She turned her head around and continued to play the sad music. The young man faintly smiled. What an interesting little fellow. It was night when Wang Lin returned to the Mo mansion. Shortly after, he and Mo Lihai left together and entered Xian City. Although Xian City was about the same size as Hong City, it looked completely different. The city was lit up, and among the pedestrians, there were more armored soldiers. Mo Lihai stopped outside a mansion in Xian City, then he took out a letter which he passed to the guard outside. The guard took the letter and immediately went inside the mansion. Wang Lin examined the mansion and his gaze stopped at the plaque on the mansion's entrance. Vice Commander-in-Chief Xian's Mansion. The 8 Commander-in-Chiefs have the same names as the 8 cities of Sky Demon City, but their mansions don't have the word Vice. This is the mansion of Xian City's Vice Commander-in-Chief. After Mo Lihai said this, he hesitated for a bit and added, "Xian City's Vice Commander-in-Chief has a good personal relationship with the Demon Emperor." Wang Lin nodded. Mo Lihai had already explained in detail about how 2 Vice Commander-in-Chiefs will be chosen during this Demon General competition, and the importance of it all. Shortly after, the guard came back out and respectfully said, "General Mo, Lord Vice Commander-in-Chief welcomes you." Mo Lihai's expression became serious as he walked in, and Wang Lin unhurriedly followed. Under the escort of the guard, Mo Lihai and Wang Lin entered the courtyard. The Vice Commander-in-Chief will meet General there. The guard paused and pointed at the archway. After that, he respectfully left. Mo Lihai was calm as he walked past the archway with Wang Lin. Inside was a flower garden filled with many exotic flowers. The fragrance of the flowers washed over the two of them. A man wearing purple robes was standing with his back to the two of them and looking up at the sky. He stood there as if he had fused with the surroundings. Wang Lin only took one glance before withdrawing his gaze. This person's cultivation level was equal to that of an early-stage ascendant cultivator who was at the peak and ready to break through at any time. However, until he actually makes that breakthrough, he will still too far from being able to compare to a mid-stage ascendant cultivator. Mo Lihai took a deep breath and respectfully said, "Mo Lihai greets Lord Vice Commander-in-Chief." That person didn't speak, he didn't even move at all. He just stood there looking up at the sky. The surroundings were completely silent. This silence unconsciously transformed into a pressure that surrounded the area. Demon General Mo Lihai was calm, unmoved, and remained quietly standing. As for Wang Lin, cultivators always fought against the heavens, so how could he collapse under this kind of pressure? Wang Lin's expression was calm, Even when he encountered the All-Seer, he was still calm. This person was merely at the early stage of Ascendant, far weaker than Zhu Qzi and Sichu Nan. Wang Lin's calmness and Mo Lihai's unmoving nature silently dispersed this pressure. The purple-robed man turned around. His eyes were like lightning as he looked at the two. He looked at them as if he was an elder looking at the younger generation, and he spoke with a tone of superiority. To be able to stay calm under my pressure, not bad. Mo Lihai, how confident are you in securing the position of Vice Commander-in-Chief? The purple-robed man spoke very directly and went straight to the point. Mo Lihai pondered a bit and seriously replied, 40%. Oh. The purple-robed man's eyes narrowed and he slowly said, among the many demon generals that have come to visit me, you have the least amount of confidence. Mo Lihai pointed at Wang Lin and said, adding this person, I'm 90% confident. The purple-robed man's gaze landed on Wang Lin. His eyes were calm without any fluctuation. It was as if Wang Lin was only an ant in his eyes. He had the qualifications to look at Wang Lin like so, because he was a vice commander-in-chief, good friends with the demon emperor, and had almost 1 million ranks of demonic spiritual energy, which was to equal early-stage ascendant cultivators. He was also on the verge of a breakthrough, making him far above all the other demon generals, and he was merely waiting to become a real commander-in-chief. In his eyes, Wang Lin was merely Mo Lihai's follower. He didn't even consider Mo Lihai worthy, so how could he even care about a follower of Mo Lihai? If it wasn't for the fact that he knew that the demon emperor had his eyes on this Mo Lihai, he wouldn't even have met Mo Lihai because in his view, Mo Lihai wasn't qualified. Instead of meeting Mo Lihai, he'd rather enjoy the flowers. In Sky Demon City, almost everyone knew how much the Xian Vice Commander-in-Chief liked flowers, especially exotic flowers. He not only liked flowers but also cherished them greatly. If any of the servants accidentally touched a flower, they would be kicked out of the mansion. If anyone dared to harm the flowers, he would take their head. The purple-robed man was a bit impatient in his heart, but he didn't reveal any of it. Display your most powerful spell. Let me see why Mo Lihai thinks you can increase his chance by 50%. The purple-robed man's voice was still calm. In his view, this person was only the late stage of soul transformation, and he would never consider someone like this worthy of his attention. He didn't underestimate Wang Lin, it was more like he had a bland disregard of Wang Lin. Use your full power. If you can make me move, then consider yourself qualified. The purple-robed man looked into the sky and didn't even look at Wang Lin. Wang Lin coldly looked at this person, and without any hesitation, he raised his hand. The slaughter energy gathered on his hand and he pointed forward. Countless slivers of slaughter energy suddenly burst out from his hand. At this moment, a storm of killing intent suddenly surrounded the area. 2,000 strands of slaughter energy burst out from Wang Lin and charged toward the purple-robed man like raging dragons. At the start, the purple-robed man's expression was still the same as before, completely ignoring Wang Lin's existence. However, after an instant, his expression changed as the 2,000 strands of slaughter energy closed in on him. The purple-robed man retreated without any hesitation, then demonic spiritual energy burst out from his body and took the form of a demonic tiger. However, the moment the demonic tiger took form, it was immediately pierced through by the strands of slaughter energy. The strands of slaughter energy landed directly on the chest of the purple-robed man. The purple-robed man's expression changed greatly as he backed up once more. He even completely disregarded the flowers and stepped right on top of them. At this moment, he had no time to think about the flowers, as all the hair on his body stood up and he was concentrating on how to resist this spell. With his cultivation, had he prepared, he wouldn't have been in such a sorry state, but he was looking down on Wang Lin too much. This spell was something that he might not have even been able to withstand even fully prepared. Right now it was too late for him to even feel regret. The blue light screen of the demonic armor appeared 7 inches away from his body, but the moment it appeared, it was hit by the 2,000 strands of slaughter energy and was forced back. Seeing that the armor was about to be pushed back to 3 inches away, the purple-robed man let out a roar. The vein on his head was bulging as he retreated once more, stepping on top of countless flowers that he used to cherish. But the demonic armor couldn't withstand the 2,000 strands of slaughter energy at all, so it suddenly collapsed. 2,000 strands of slaughter energy entered his body and cycled once through his body. Then Wang Lin waved his hand and the slaughter energy left the purple-robed man through his pores and returned to Wang Lin's hand. The purple-robed man's face was extremely pale, and Wang Lin suddenly became a completely different existence. With his peak late-stage soul transformation cultivation and 2,000 strands of slaughter energy, it wasn't hard for him to battle early-stage ascendant cultivators at all. Very good. You have the qualifications. The purple-robed man took a deep breath as he forced himself to reveal a calm expression and squeeze out a smile like an elder looking at the younger generation. Mo Lehai's expression was strange. He suppressed the shock in his heart as he quickly led Wang Lin away. After making sure that the two had already gone far away, the purple-robed man could no longer endure it and coughed out a mouthful of blood. The servant who came in from outside immediately panicked when he saw the scene before him. I won't meet anyone for 3 months, I'm going into closed-door cultivation. After leaving those words, the purple-robed man disappeared. This video will end here.